Channel by Naveen Kumar Pati. Today we are going to discuss about RE wall construction, reinforced earth wall, how it has to be constructed at site, and in many cases the RE wall stands economical on comparison to retaining wall. So in last video what we have discussed, let's see. RE panels casting at yard and materials involved, and moreover RE panels how it could be casted at precast yard, and what are the measures that we have to take, and what are the materials that are involved in cast in situ as well as precast yard. We have discussed all those, and moreover in previous videos I have clearly explained what is the RE wall and how it is economical to the retaining wall, and why RE wall is preferred, at what places RE wall is being done. We have seen all those videos, and for the new subscribers, welcome you all, and I request you to go through the previous videos before watching this video, because it will give you a good concept on RE wall, reinforced earth wall, and the link for whatever the last videos I will be keeping in description. Better go for those videos and come to this video for better understanding. And it is from me. Where RE wall is constructed. RE wall कहाँ कहाँ बनाता है, RE wall क्यों बनाता है? फर्स्ट प्लेस VUP, व्हीकुलर अंडरपासेस. व्हीकुलर अंडरपास क्या होता है? मतलब एक ये देता है, मतलब एक ब्रिज रहता है, उसका नीचे व्हीकल्स जाता है एंड उसके ऊपर से वो इंटरसेक्शन होता है, मतलब क्रॉस ओवर ब्रिजेस, व्हाट I should say. And second is PUP, pedestrian underpass, similar to the vehicle underpass. And third is flyover bridges. Flyover bridges are those for intersection we will give, and either sides of the intersection the approaches which will be given RE walls to overcome the cost incurring in high embankments. First of all, what we have to do? Marking using the total station, like wherever we are to going to construct the RE wall, we have to give the marking according to the GA drawings, like general arrangement drawings, which we'll call as according to the TCL. Either marking has to be given either by TBM or PCL. The alignment has to be marked. After that we have to take the leveling pad, up to leveling pad we have to cut it, वहाँ तक काटना है, and then we have to check the soil. We have to take the sample in the presence of client or consultant, जो भी रहता है. So further, for investigating of the soil, whether the soil is suitable. Here excavation has to be done with the excavator. Either we can do using through backhoe loader, but it is very economical to use using excavator. That's why I have made mention in the slides. Soil investigation. Why soil investigation is required? Can anyone think of that? what is the why soil investigation is required. Soil investigation below leveling pad has to be sampled and then investigated whether it can take the load or not. Wherever the civil structures, wherever the structures you are going to construct, you have to investigate whether the soil is suitable and whether can take the load according to the your design procedure. If it is not taking, we have to improve the ground wherever the foundation is going to be erected. If we have not done this first thing, then there will be a differential settlement either in any of the structures which is constructed on that soil. So soil is tested for SBC, which it is being clearly I'm showing, I'm writing there in screen. And if it is not suitable, then it ground improvement has to be done. SBC of different soils. Safe bearing capacity of different type of the soils. In this there are cohesion soils and cohesive soils, cohesionless soils. The cohesionless soils, which includes gravel, sand, and then coarse sand. These are all 44 showing ton per meter square at compacted stages itself. 44 ton per meter square. And medium sand it is 24.5, fine sand it is 15 only. We have to classify according to our Indian classification system 1498. I will explain all this classification system in further videos also. You will get a good knowledge over the classification system of soil in further videos. And the cohesive soils like fine sand and loose, further it is 10. Cohesive soils also it is showing 44, but we should not use the cohesive soils, because for the cohesive soils you will get if you use shallow foundation you will get a differential settlement failure because of the hydraulic pressure. And moreover these are all up to the cases where we have only shallow foundations. We have to, these are all thumb rules only, these are not all accurate to the thing. Because if you go for the for RE walls, if we go beyond 2.5 to 3 meters, then for getting the SBC value you have to sample it and get it tested either in third party, or if you have proper equipments at site you better test it at site, or else better send it to third party lab, because SBC is a main criteria. If structure fails in SBC, safe bearing capacity, then there will be a settlement occurs not only in leveling flat places. They have seen two RE walls where the retained soil have been settled due to the differential settlement, because the soil was not studied and was not tested for safe bearing capacity. So safe bearing capacity is must and should. That's why I have prepared a separate video for this. And this is how excavated for leveling pad, ready for leveling pad. And moreover, if you encounter any water pipelines or underwater cables or underwater utilities, then it has to be removed. And moreover, I've shown here to say that there whatever the soils or black cotton packets which are observed here or has to be removed up to 500 further ground has to be improved because of the unsuit. So see here I am showing how ground improvement is being taken for the places where unsuitable soil has been encountered at site, and it has to be layered by layer. It has to be compacted and then go for further. Before laying of the leveling pad, we have to remove the loose soil. Loose soil should be removed, because if you encounter some loose soil, then there will be a settlement in leveling pad, that is differential settlement. Then your wall may sit at one place and it may not sit at other place. It is where collapse of RE wall happen. And no hard rock should be present up to 500 below the leveling pad, because if you have a hard rock, for example some vibration, due to some vibration in earth at somewhere beyond 1 meter, 2 meters, up to 10 meters, that will impact the rock, and there will be cracks in the wall. And if you encounter if any soft soil encountered, remove up to 500 and replace it with a with suitable soil. And moreover, if you find some slushy soil, then it has to be removed at the place only, because hydraulic pressures may really encounter, which we have not considered in our design. And below the leveling pad should be checked and ensured compacted. In next video, we are going to discuss leveling pad construction, how the leveling pad constructed, and placing of bottom panels, alignment checking, and compaction checking. Okay, like, share, comment, subscribe. And in this video, I have you made very changes, used many animations according to the listeners suggestion. So I am accepting your suggestions, so better suggest the good animations uh, which it will be like fruitful for you, so that it won't bore you for listening the full video. And moreover, I have reduced my video length from 30 to 40 minutes to 10 to 15 minutes, so that it will be easy to the listeners. And thank you.